Okay, so welcome back to this lecture. I think we are on what? We are on lecture what? Lecture six. Okay, that is um scheduling. Okay, scheduling activities. Yesterday, we started with what? Where the one of the key cornerstones of project management. That was the scheduling. Okay, the schedule or the time. So that time we did what? The other one, that was the scope. Okay. For this scope, we looked into scope, why we need scope, what scope will contribute to the project. Then we started yesterday. And there was one guy who came for a green card. I don't know whether it was that. One guy, which guy was that? That, that particular, I think, the last but one slim guy came for a green card this morning. Uh, so as I'm saying, we did what? Cost I think no, but that scope and then what we are working on the what on the schedule or the time cornerstone of the project management. Okay, so this is a continuation of where we ended yesterday. Okay, so right now we are on the what on the network diagrams. Okay, the network diagrams. It is used in what in scheduling what program. Okay, project. Sorry, project. That is the what network diagram. So let's have a look at that. This one says that a network diagram is a schematic or display of the logical relationship among or sequencing of a project activities. Okay, that is a schematic. Okay, display of the logical relationships among or sequencing of a project activity. Network diagrams are the preferred technique for showing what activity sequencing. Okay, we want to show what activities. Okay, how they are being linked. Network diagram are the preferred what technique in showing what activity sequencing. And let's look at the techniques for activity sequencing. It says regardless of which scheduling method is chosen, okay, regardless of which scheduling method is chosen, we have what CPM, we have PET, okay, we have even this Gantt chart, what, all of them. Those are what they are. Some of them are scheduling tools. Some of them are scheduling method. The scheduling methods are just we call the activity diagram, and then precedence diagram. Those are the methods. But the tools, we have PET, and then we have Gantt charts. We have a lot of them. Okay, but please take note that the scheduling methods. Okay, we have what? Activity diagram, or maybe arrow arrow on what on activity that AOA that you've been seeing. Okay, the same as what as activity diagram, and then we have the precedence method. Activity diagram is the one that has maybe we drawing the circles, and then we use the arrow. Draw the circle, use the arrow, draw the circle. But the precedence diagram is the one that is in the what? It's in the rows and columns. Okay, you draw a box, you put the activity, and then you put the duration, and then that and that. Okay, so these are what scheduling methods. Okay, they all strive to graphically demonstrate the sequential relationship between activities. Okay, yes, the two techniques of activity sequencing are through the use of. Okay, the two techniques of activity sequencing are through the use of activity diagramming method and the precedence diagram method. So please take note. I repeat for the last time, the two techniques of activity sequencing are through the use of activity diagramming. Okay, as I've told you, that one that you draw the zero, you put the activity name in it, and then use the arrow. Okay, you point. All right, that is the activity diagram method. And the precedence diagram is the one that you draw the box, you connect the box, draw the box, connect the box. Right. All right. So let's see. So this is a sample example. Okay, that is what activity on arrow. Okay, activity on arrow network diagram. That is the AOA or whatever that you've been seeing. That is it. Okay, so this is what this is an event. Okay, this is what this is what an event, or and then these are what these are tags. Okay, these are tags. These are tags. Okay, so okay, let's read from here. Says lines with arrows represent the tags. Okay,
No,
lines with yes.
your voice is down.
It's down. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
You can,
it's down
you
now.
can hear me All right.
Yes.
So as I'm saying, this is what activity on arrow network diagram. Okay. We have what? We have tax. Okay, and then we have uh, the representations. Okay. So as I'm saying, the lines, this particular line. Okay, this particular arrow, it represents what? A tax. Okay, represents what? A tax. And then this particular circle, one here, one there, represent the what? A beginning and an end of the tax. So just see that this begins a tax, it ends here. It begins here, it ends here. It begins here, it ends here. So one what precedes the other, and one succeeds the other. Okay, this is a what? Uh, precedence. It is a what? Successor. But this is the what? The raw activity. So between this particular what? Activity, we have what? Precedence, we have successor. But in here, we don't have what? Any precedence. Okay. So, but just know the lines that are here we have a represent for tax. Okay, these are some of them are events. Okay, and a circles with words or numbers represent the what? The beginning or the end of the task after explained. Then the dotted lines represent what? Dummy activities. When we say dummy activity, it is an activity that doesn't have what? Cost or what? It doesn't have duration. It is not really important. Okay, it doesn't have any resources. So that is not really what important. Okay, that is a dummy activity. We know why we have this particular one dotted arrow here. Okay, so let's. I hope you are following. I
Yeah.
hope we are following. We are following. All right. Okay. So and then this is the what? A sample of the what? Precedence diagram. Okay, as I told this is a precedence diagram. It looks like a box. It has what? This like how can I say rows and what and columns. Okay. I think this is from Microsoft uh, project. So it looks like this. But when drawing on the paper, it just looks like a what? Like rectangle like this. I don't know. I have a pen. Let me see. I don't have a pen in here. All right. So it looks like this particular rectangle, and then I think two what? Two lines crossing. So something like this. Let me do this. Okay. So you have a look at this. We have something like this. All right. And then it just looks like this. Okay. So this is how it actually looks like. Yes. It just there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 cells. Okay. 6 cells. 2 rows, 3 columns. Okay. 6 cells. That is what? 2 rows. And then we have what? 3 columns. Okay. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's how it actually looks like. But this is because it is in the software. You see it to be this particular way. Okay. So you see this one also has something like that. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. I believe we are following. Just
Yeah.
get this one thing for all right. Okay, so the network diagram. Okay, the symbols. This is just trying to tell us what the symbols are. I think we've seen some of them, but let's still go on. This what network diagrams consist of what? Two major components. Okay, event. Okay, it represents a point in time during the project. Okay, that is what an event. Okay, a point in time. Okay, that is a point in time. This particular thing that what we play that is an event. Maybe event A. All right, and then a task. Okay, it is any job or work that must be performed to complete the project and depicted as arrows. Okay, so tasks are the arrows, events are the what are the circles. Okay, tasks are the arrows, events are the circles. An event is depicted as a what? As a circle or rectangular shaped node. Okay, so if we are using the what? Activity diagram, event is the circle. If we are using the what? The precedence diagram, event is the what? Is the rectangle. Are you following?
Yes.
All right. So um activity on what? On arrow. Okay. As the name implies, activity details are written on the arrow. So activity details, okay, are written on the what? On the arrow. So this is what? An event. Event one, event two. Even some of the events shows you and gives us a milestone. Okay. That's what yes, we've been able to work out this particular set of tasks. So that is a milestone. Okay, so this is what event one, event two, event three, event four, five, and six. But these are what are tasks. This is task A. So task A had what? Two events, one precedence, one successor. right? So precedence, successor. So we have A, activity A. This is activity B, activity C, D, E, and F. Okay, so this is a dummy what activity. As I said earlier, dummy activity is an activity that does not have any resources, as in duration, cost, or even time. Okay, it is not really what important. Okay, so the downside in here, it says what when an activity is inserted, neighboring activity numbers will have to change. So at the moment I place what 2 here, okay, yes, meaning the next one follows has to what they have to be changing. I can't have the same activity twice. I can't have here as 2 here. I can't have this event 2 and event 2 as well in here. Okay, yeah, so the activity must what must change, and then the numbers must also change. So you can tell that what this one will say what A precedes what A precedes C, and then A precedes B, meaning what A comes uh, uh, C can only come after A is done. When I say precedence, I mean that you can't have a C unless what A finishes the work that it is doing. So it is like we are running a baton. Okay, A should start. At the moment A finishes it, maybe uh, it it particular what it elapses what a particular time or within the what the the length that what it should run. Because at the moment, if they don't handle the what the baton stick to you, how will you run? Okay, so precedence means that what A after A finishes the what it tax, C can start. So what this one says is that what it is like what C depends on what on A to start. That is what it means. Okay. So that particular precedence, if you what, if you break it down into this particular, that is what it means. Okay. C depends on A because C cannot start until what A finishes. So it's the same way. So A precedes B and C. All right. And then I can see that. So meaning uh, A precedes for C was the first thing before A precedes B. That is why we have what? Event 3 here, event 2 here. Okay. And it says that what? C precedes what? E. Okay, C precedes E. You have 4 here. And then I think it's going to mention what? B precedes what? D. So you have what? 5 here. Okay. And it came to what? Mention that what? um D precedes what F, and then what we ended right here. Okay, but just know when you have any tax, every tax should have what a precedence and a successor. That is what the event. All right, so you have all of them. Event here, tax. Event here, tax. Event here, event there, tax. Okay, but I think maybe there was something here. Maybe there was maybe something here. Okay, dummy activity. Maybe it was supposed to maybe something precedes maybe A and then should land here. But we'll see why. We'll see why we have this one here. Okay. Yes. At least I hope till this point we're on the same platform.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the conventions. Okay, so networks proceed from what? From left to the right. Okay, we start from the left to the right. Okay, so the start event is the what is at the left hand side of the diagram, and the end at the right hand side. So as I mentioned here, this is what the start, that's the end, there's the start, there's the end, there's the start, there's the end. So the start for A is 1, the end for A is 2, the start for C is 2, the end for C is 4. That is what this part one particularly means. Okay. Networks are not drawn to scale, okay? They're not drawn to scale. We don't have any right or drawing for it. That is what we are supposed to follow up or measurement. Okay. If it is looking in the context of what? A correct form, it is correct. It is not drawn to scale. Okay, so theory says what? Arrows representing activity should have their head to the right. Okay, arrows what representing activities. Okay, should have their head to the right of their what of their tail. Okay, so like this. Okay, arrows what representing what activities should have their head. Okay, to the right. Okay, of their what of their tail. So this is their tail. This is their head. Right. This is their tail. This is their head. That's an activity. Okay, events or notes should be what should be numbered. Okay, so that it says events or nodes should be numbered so that an activity always move from a lower numbered event to what a higher numbered event. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, so you move from what from Because here you can't move from what 2 to 1. Okay, you can't move and then loop from what 2 to 1 again. We have to continue. Okay, so these are some of the rules or the conventions that we are taking. Okay, I think this is an old slide. There are some that didn't show, but I'll try so that I can get the other one. Or maybe I think maybe it is inside this. Okay, so let's look at the logical rules. Okay, logical rules. It says that a complete network should have what? Only one point of entry, that is the start event. Okay, a complete network should have what? Only one point of entry, that is the start event, and one point of exit, that is the start. Okay, as you can see. Okay, we start here and then what? And then we end what? Right here. All right. So every activity must have one preceding event. Okay, every activity must have what? One preceding event and one what? One successor event. Okay, so it says what? Every activity must have what? One preceding event and one following the event. That is the head. So the tail and the head. And then three says what? Several activities may use the same tail. Okay, sorry about that. Several activities may use what? The same tail event and several the same head event. Okay, so we can be using the what? The same tail. Okay, like this. Like how maybe this one, maybe we can connect like this. You see, A and B are using the same tail, but we can't use the same head event. That is why this dummy thing is what is showing in here. Okay, it is the reason why what we are seeing this particular what dummy, but we'll have a look at it. Okay, but we can have the what 2 or 3 if we were starting from says what no what no two activities should have the same word. The same word. Should be using the same head. Okay. But we can use the word the same tail. As it says, what several activities may use the word the same tail event. Okay, the same tail event and several the same head event. But no two activities may share the word the same head and tail event. Okay. No two activities, okay, should share the same head and what? And tail. Okay, like this. Okay, like this. See this? Can you see this arrow pointing to this particular event? This particular arrow pointing to this particular same event. So meaning what? This event is having what? Two arrows are pointing to it. That is what it means. It says what? Even though we can share the same tail, but we shouldn't what? Be having something like this. Okay, no two activities should be pointing to what one event. If you look at this ones, we have what one arrow pointing right here. Okay, yes. And then when you look at this, you see, the reason why this one wasn't a dummy was this is like the end. Okay, that is the end event. Okay, but these ones are in what? Are in continuation. This is a tax. Okay, so at the moment what we have another tax coming to the what? To the what? To the tail or the head of what? Of an event. Meaning what? It violates the rules of the what? Of the network diagram. Please, are we together? Please, please, are we together? Hey,
Yes.
we are together. All right. So let's continue. Okay. So no two activities may share the same head until event. Okay. So let's see. Okay. It says what the above diagram would not be allowed as part of what a network. Why? Okay. It says why. Okay. The solution would be what to introduce what a dummy activity. Okay. As I said, even though we can have the what the same tail, but we can't have the same head. Activity A, activity B are using the what? The same what? The same head. Okay, they are using the what? The same head. So it violates the what? The rules. Okay. So what we have to do is what? We have to make one of them what? A dummy activity. So we can make either A or either B a dummy activity. So it says what? The solution would be to what? Introduce a dummy activity. That is, activities that do not what, take time and resources, and run to make the diagram more clear and ensure that the rules and conventions are not breached. So this particular the solution that they brought in here, okay, was this. Okay, so they had what? Activity A, activity B, okay, and then yes, A event, okay, event one, and then event two, event one, event three. But from this particular event, we had what? A dummy, right? From here, okay, we had a dummy from here because they all can't be using the what? The same what? The same event. Okay, so the only thing that can happen is that we should have what? A dummy activity. Okay, so you can just create a dummy activity. So like what I you are seeing right here, like what you are seeing right here. I'm sure it was supposed to be maybe A and B. Okay, A and B, and then maybe A should be connected to what? Maybe D, right? That is what it's supposed to be. But because when it does that, it violates the rules, then we should have what? A dummy what? Activity right here. Okay. We have to have what? Activity right, illustrating and showing that A was supposed to be connected to what? To maybe D. That is the event 5. Okay, to D right there. But because what? We don't want to what? Violate this particular one, so we left it out. Okay, so we just made a dummy activity. Okay, yes. So we can also do it this way. You can either make what? A B, and then we make what? B a dummy activity, right here. Okay, so the logical rule say we are continuing. Loops are not allowed. Okay, so we can't be using what? Loops within. I move from one, two, and I come to three. I go back to one again. So okay, so when you are drawing, you should what? You should draw what? Straight. You should move forward. We don't move backwards. We move forward and not backwards, and we don't do rotation. Okay, you can't have a series of activities leading from what? An event and back to the same what? Event. No, it is impossible at what? Because we said when you move forward, the numbers should even be changing. But you can't move from what? From A, B, then you come back to C. You should continue. We don't have to have loops in the diagram. Okay. And then 5 says what? Dangling activities. Okay. Dangling activities are not allowed. All activities must contribute to the progression of the network, or be discarded as irrelevant. So dangling activities are this. Okay. They are irrelevant to the diagram. Okay, it doesn't do anything again. It just ended right here. Meanwhile, the diagram is continuing. So dangling activities are also what? Here. Okay, it's a sort. Are not allowed, but you can't do anything. Sometimes because you are illustrating or drawing, you should put it what? In there, just like that. Okay, but it doesn't contribute to anything. Okay, when we are maybe finding the what? The we are finding something, okay, a number, or maybe calculating something, we don't even use it because it doesn't contribute it is a dangling activity. It is not involved in the progression. Okay. Okay. So this one says what? Identify the errors. Okay. Identify the errors of logic and the departure from convention in the following diagram and explain why. Okay. So we have to look at, or we have to look into this particular diagram and see um, what maybe, even though they've illustrated that this is wrong and wrong and wrong and that, but we want to also what? Look and then what? Point out whether we can tell, okay, whether we can tell by our own self. So let's see. All right. Okay. So first of all, we have what? We have event one, event two, event three, event four, five, six, seven, um 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, A start from here. Okay, A start from what? From here, and then it moves towards to C. Okay, and then moves toward F. Okay, and then um D D also what? Start from here, right? Okay, so see this. Okay, this is acting in a form of a loop. Okay, this is the reason why this is wrong is what? It is acting as a loop, meaning what? We can go over here and come back over again because we have what? An arrow pointing down, an arrow pointing up. Meaning you bet me see ako aba sing, right? So that is why what you can see this one right here. Okay, and then this one. Okay, this one like this. it says that we should have only one starting point. If I remember right, yes. If you read war, you'll remember that it says that it should have. Let me see whether I can find it for you. Or arrow presenting this network. Okay, if the start is this and that, and should have their heads. Okay, I want to find it. Okay, yes, it says a complete network should have what? Only one point of end. That is what the start event, and one point of exit. That is the end. Okay, so this like this is what is violation. This is also what violation, because we are having. Okay, let's see. So this, see, okay, this is also moving in the form of a loop. Okay, this one moves. This is going in reverse order, rather. Okay, we said what? We are drawing it. We are moving forward. We are not moving backwards. But this is what? Moving backwards. We find this to be what? A violation. Let's look at from this side. Okay, so from this side, we move to this particular side. The reason why, who can tell why this particular thing is what is wrong? Can anybody tell us? So that we move on. Anybody tell us why this is wrong?
It's in a loop, right?
Okay, first of all, it is in a loop, and then secondly, too, it is a head. Okay, having what? A lot of activities coming to it. Okay, so here we should have what? Dummy activity, but we are not having dummy activity. Okay, so it has what? See, we have what? We have one coming from here, one activity coming from here, an activity from here, an activity from here. It is not the last one. It's not the last event, but we have a lot of activities coming to it. We have a lot of them coming to it. So we must either have what? K as a dummy activity. Yes, and then we can also have, or maybe just a dummy activity. Okay. See this. It is like, what is it? It is like this. Okay, two activities are coming to it. Even it has three. So one must be what? A dummy activity. One must be a dummy activity. Okay, they all can come to it. That is why. So you can see one here, one there. Okay, this can only be done maybe in the what? In the precedence diagram. But when drawing the activity diagram, we should check out what? Some of these things. Okay. So you can put maybe, you can do maybe D can end an activity, an event here, and you can connect what? A dummy activity to it. That's what, yes. Because you don't have to, you don't want to have what? An event having what? A lot of activities coming to it. If it is not the last what? The last event. Okay. Yes, if it is not the what? The last what? The last event. We have what? We have one here. All right. So let's have a look at this one also. Uh, this one says, okay, okay. So this one is also right here. Okay, it is. So what are you going to say? This one is. What are we going to say? This one is doing. So this one is. We are going to say this is what we just read something in our previous speech. What are you going to say? This one is
Which one?
this particular side.
This particular side, I think, where the president of the gene.
Yes. So what are you going to say it is? Why do you think they
A
place the what?
dangler, right?
The it is a what? Come again. It is a what?
A dangler, right?
Yes, it's a dangling activity. Yes. That is it. It was yes, it is a dangling activity. See where it is. We just read this, yes, right from here. Okay. Dangling activities are not allowed. Activities must contribute to the progression of the network. It is not progressing the activity. See where it will be a non quantum. But you see the progression line, no, and I'm here, out of it, and it ends here. But maybe on so it is a dangling activity. It is not even what progressing that the diagram. It is doing its own thing somewhere. So it is not what really what considered. Okay, it is not really what considered. It is just what dangling. It is just what it is just dangling right there. Okay, so I believe we can continue. I believe we can continue.
Yeah.
All right. So let's continue. All right, let's continue. Oh, we have this coming from here, this and that. All right. So I think we have also this one, sample activity on the same thing, maybe uh an example. Okay. The same thing. We have one, two, and three. Okay. And then this we see there is nothing like what? A dangling activity here. Okay. There is nothing like what? A dangling activity right here. Yes. So they are all contributing to the progression of the what of the diagram. Okay. Yes. This one, see from here, this from here, we move from here and then we end. And then I think this will become maybe the critical part. You have to calculate 1, 3, 6, 8, 1, 4, 7. Maybe this will become the critical part. Rather, but we'll look at it shortly. Okay. So let's move on. It says that what we should draw an activity or a arrow on activity network for each of the following what situations. A precedes B and B precedes C, and then C precedes D. A precedes B, B precedes what C, and then what? And then D. And then C precedes what? E and D. Okay, so it says what? We should draw this particular one. I hope you can give it a try. I'll give it a try and then let's see. Okay, if you want to try, try and then let's see. Okay, try it yourself and then let's see. Let's see how best you can do that. Okay, so in the next 5 minutes, okay, it's 10:18. So maybe by 10:23. Okay, let's see. So you can drop the answers in the discussion forum. Okay, I'll have a look at it and then we'll take it from there. So in the next 5 minutes, let's see what we can do. Okay, from this particular activity. You just try. You just give it a try. Give it a try. Give it a try. Please, I believe you are still working on it. I don't know, but I hope you are all you are all in the group. Just in case maybe you are done, you can put it on there. Okay. Let me see. You can get the group link as well. I Okay. So somebody dropped one. Yes. So let me copy the group link. So I believe the just in case you are not in the group, you can join. Matthew, why you didn't draw it with a pen and a paper, or maybe with a pencil, maybe like a picture. But this one, it's very difficult for you to see this. Yeah. And the rest, I hope you're working. I think the one guy has drawn his, he sent it. So the rest we are waiting. The rest we are waiting. So by 10:30, yes, we will stop work. 10:30 we'll stop work. Okay, and then we'll Hmm. Hey, still waiting. 1 minute. 1 minute more. 1 minute more, and then we look at how we are going to do this. Okay, 1 minute. I only saw two people dropping something. The rest of you haven't sent anything. Okay, I think it's time. It's time. Okay, so whatever you've done, I'll like you to drop in the discussion and then let's have a look at it before we start. Okay, you just drop it. So we do what you do the correction. Okay, just to know you are doing something right or maybe how you are getting the concept. Okay, so whatever you've done so far, you can try just putting it into the discussion session and then let's see. Let's just in this. Okay, all right. So since only two people dropped something, let's have a look at it. Okay. So I think two questions. Okay. Yes, I think three questions. Okay. So it says what? Draw the what? Arrow on activity network for each of the following situations. So this is situation one. Okay, situation one says what? A precedes B precedes C. So the guy who did the first one. Okay, yes. So I think you did the last one. Okay, but we even have to look at it. Okay. So this one. I'm commenting on that. Okay. This one. Okay. Was for the what? Was for the last one. But just know the question was three. It wasn't just one. Okay. Yes. The question was three, not just one. The question one says what? Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So question one says what? A precedes B and then B precedes C and then C precedes D. So if I take maybe paint, okay. Let's have a look at this. What we can do here. So it says what? We can put what? Event one. Okay. Maybe I can just write what? Maybe. And I'll put what? Event two here. All right. I'll put what? A here. It says what? And then it says that A precedes what? B. So I think B should come. Okay. B should follow A. So I can put what? Um. Yes. So I can put B here, and I'll do what? Three. I'll put B here, and it says what? B precedes C. So I'll put what? Four here, and I'll put what? C here, and it says what? C precedes D. So just like that. Okay, 5 here and then D. Please, I hope you got it. I hope we are following.
Yeah, we are following, but are you doing something on your screen? Because we can't see the screen.
Ah, okay.
We are just seeing
I, I'm not sharing the
the
full
screen.
screen. Okay, it's true. It's because I'm not sharing the full screen entirely. Sorry about that. Let me share the full screen entirely. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But I just want to focus on the screen. I hope now you can see what I'm doing. Right? You can see. Right?
Yeah, yeah, we can see.
Uh-huh. So it was what? Event one, event two. Okay. So okay, right here. So I don't when they mention tax. If you hear a tax should have what? A precedence and a successor. So what when I had I place what? Event one, I place A here. Then it says what? A precedes B, meaning A must finish before B can start. So activity B, okay, we have event three. And then it says what? B precedes C. If it's key in the question, it says what? A precedes B, B precedes C, C precedes D. I hope you understand. I hope you understand what we are doing.
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll clean this and then we'll go to question two. Question two says what? A precedes B, B precedes C, B precedes what? C and D. So let's do it again. It says, and the rest of you, it's only one person who is responding. The rest of you, are you on the same page? The rest of you, are we you're on the same page?
Yes, we are on the
Okay.
same page. Just that
Uh-huh.
I'm having a challenge with my mic
Oh,
on the laptop. So unless
okay.
maybe I speak to the phone before I can talk.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, noted. Okay, so this one says that I want to draw this, but let me try. Says what? A precedes B, and then B precedes C. So let's do that. Okay, says what? A precedes B, B precedes C and D, and then C precedes what? E and D, and then D precedes. Okay, let's do it. Okay, says what? A precedes. So I don't want to mention A. You have to start. Okay, we put what? One here and I will do forward for A. Okay, so this is what the event. Okay, so you put what A, and it says what A precedes B, right? So let me put what B here. Okay, so this is what event three, but B should come here. Okay, and then it says that B precedes what C and D. So meaning B alone has what C and D. Okay, so we should have what maybe C here, and then maybe D here. All right, or maybe even anywhere. So we can have what event 4 here, that is C. Okay, and event 5 here, that is what? That is a D. Okay, and then it says what? C precedes E, the same C. Okay, C precedes E. So we move what from here, event 6, E. All right, then it says what? E D precedes E. It says D. Did we do a D? Yes. So it says what? Uh, let me see. It says D. Okay, so yeah, we did C and D, right? C and D, and then it says what? D precedes what? E. Okay, so D precedes E. So as you are looking at this particular one, and it's saying, we can't go back. We can't what? We can't go back to this particular one. 10. Okay, so then it says D precedes. Let me do the arrows. Okay, let me do the arrow. One here. Okay, one here. Okay, one here, and then what? And then one here, right? At the moment, what? E. I don't know whether it was. Is it D precedes E? So this is making us go in a reverse. This one's C precedes E. Okay, so okay. It says A B C D right in the alphabet. Let A B C D E. All right. Okay. A, B, C, D, and then E. And then D should finish before what? E should finish before what? D. Okay. So I think it's correct. It's correct. So we can do that. Okay. It's correct. So we must. I think there will be something wrong. There will be something wrong. Okay. Let me have the question. Oh, D precedes E. Okay. D precedes. So D should come before E. But here C has preceded what? E again. Okay, C preceded what? E. And now D is also what? Preceding E. Okay, D is preceding. So this is going to be something like
Oh,
we are going
John,
to, is that what? Come again.
it will connect this. The C and D will connect the E. If I'm
Yes.
right.
Yes. Yes. But I think it is going to be like this. I'm coming. So we have what? We have A here, we have B here, we have C and D. So it is going to be what? I think we are going to get what? A dummy activity because we can't come back. Because if D should what? D should connect to E again, meaning E will be getting what? Two arrows. Okay, and then it shouldn't be. So it is going to be what? It is we are going to get what? A dummy activity right here. Okay, dummy activity from what? From D from D to what? To E. I hope you are following. I hope you understand why we are doing this. I hope
Oh,
I hope
I
you
mean,
get this.
let me look at the question again.
Yes. So this is it. Okay. I hope you are getting what we are doing because we
So,
can't. Uh-huh.
so B is connecting C and D.
There was the D.
The B precedes C and D.
Exactly. So that is what we have here.
So from the B, it's going to connect to the C and then
Yes.
the D.
Exactly. So B
Then the
C.
D. So how does it the D become a dummy?
Uh-huh. The reason why it becomes a dummy is that C, we've done what? C and D. All right. And then it says what? C precedes E. And then we did what? C precedes E. This is E. And then it came back again to tell us that's what? Now D precedes E. So how should D precedes E again? Because E
E precedes
D
what? C
it says
precedes C
no
precedes E.
D rather precedes E. But D already has a precedence. You understand? So we can't go back. Otherwise, it's going to be like a loop. Okay, but so the only thing we can do is what? Is to put a dummy activity right there from the what? From the E to the D, from the D to the E. I hope you get it. Oh,
No, because this question we've solved it before in
yes,
his class.
yes. That is how it should be. Make
So
us say
where does it make it a dummy?
here, here, here. So I'll say E, I'll say then D precedes E, right? I'll say D precedes E, right? Uh-huh. And see, apart from that,
Is that C precedes
D precedes E. D precedes E. D precedes E. And just know that what the E already has a precedence. Okay. And D also has a what? A precedence already. Okay. So I hope what I'm saying you are getting it. All right. So if says then said D precedes E. And unless what we come to what to unless we start from what from E and then we come back to the D again. Let me clean again. Let me clean it for you to get what I'm trying to do. Maybe because I'm drawing on this page, it is not too visible. Let me clean and let's draw it again. So let's pay attention. Let's pay attention. When I do one, then maybe it's clear. Just let me know that that is clear. Okay. Also then A precedes B, right? Into activity one here, right? Aha. Now you call A precedes what B. So this is what two. Right? That I say yeah, A. Okay. So A precedes B. All right. A precedes what? A precedes B. So we by 3. Yes. And okay, say I think let me look at this. Somebody saying something. Um, and I'll say um B precedes C, right? I'll say B precedes C. So B precedes C. So B comes before what? Now C depends on what? On B. So at the moment B finishes, C says B precedes C and D. It's mentioned C and D. C and D I want to mention also C and D. So anything C be C, right? Now what? D aba C. Please, I hope to this point we understand. Right? To this point you understand.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is 5. So this is what? C and what? And then D. Okay. And then it says that what? C precedes E. And see, C as a C then. A says C so the C will start, C will finish. Right? And it says C answers C will finish and then C precedes E. So E can what? Can start from here. Okay, so E beba has C. Na ahasi ababɛyɛ dɛn activity then activity we event 6, right? If I'm right, is event 6. Okay, yeah, I hope you understand till this point, right?
Yes.
And I'll call you one or say D precedes E. Or say as I said then D we answer na yaba. And so ye know what da. Oh, yeah, yeah, you know why need there no we activity. So how is this going to finish again? That is going to take you back again.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Aha, aha. Is it then? It says what? D precedes E, meaning what? Meaning D must finish. Okay, D must finish before what? E comes. But no, C finished before E came. So we can't do that. So the only thing we can do is what? We must represent what? Kind of saying a dummy. All right, from what? From this particular one to the E. That's what, yes, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. Is a useless activity. It's a useless activity. Say, yes. Why are you taking this back again? It's useless. It's not important. I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear. It's clear now. Please, I hope
Yes,
it's
yes.
clear now. Okay. It says so. That means activity is useful for separating or simultaneous tasks. But then the best simultaneous, and one bill, yin kwan bill, and then. So the rest of you, do we understand what we've just done? The rest, if you don't understand, just let me know. Okay, are we together?
Yeah, we understand.
Okay. Only one person pena okasao. The rest, if you are not saying anything. Only one person is saying something.
What
The
do I
rest
do?
is that what? Come again.
I do understand.
Okay. Okay. So let's continue then. All right. So that is that. Okay, that is that. And then activity 3. Okay, activity 3. Let's get on activity 3. Let's see. All right. So let me clean this again. Let's do activity 3. Um, I don't know how I should put this thing. Okay. And if it was here, yes. So this one says that what? A comes, okay, meaning what? A doesn't depend on what? Anything. A and B they don't depend on anybody at all. They don't depend on anybody at all. All right, well, let's see. But here it says what? It says A depends on what? On C. Okay. So one says what? A depends on what? On C. Okay. And then this one to say is what? Is that a precedence? Let me see. Let me read the question again. Because of this thing, this is the activity. Okay, this is the preceding activity. Okay, so A precedes C. Okay, so A must finish before C comes. Okay, yes, so that's correct. So we must put what? A and B. So we have to get what? 1 here, okay, and then we put what? A here, alright. Let me just put 2 here. Then A should come here. And then it says what? A precedes this, okay. B doesn't start from any also from nothing like that. Alright, but no cause for alarm. Let's see what we can do. And then C depends on what? On A. Okay, don't worry, I haven't forgotten the B, okay, but I'm just taking from your will be no, right? And then C comes, all right. So let me just do this as maybe activity 3. Okay, let me just do activity 3. Let me just put what? C here, okay, because A must finish before what C can start. And then A and B, okay, this one to say is what? A and B must finish. Okay, then why don't I put what? I think then what this guy one guy, the guy who sent us what is drawing, okay, was trying to do something like that, if I'm right. Okay, let me see. Okay, so he placed what? A here, B there. Yes, he was trying to do something. Okay, so like this. You put what? If you're saying I say you 2, right? Now me C, right? Now me say if you say 1, 2, I say be 3. Okay, you say be 4, and I say be right? Something like that. And then here becomes like 5. Okay, and then here becomes a B. It's also start just somewhere just like that. Then it says what? Um, after A and B finishes, then D can come. Okay, so D can come after A and B are done. All right, so we can have this one. Okay, maybe yes, something like this. Yeah, so we have something like this coming. Okay, but see, there will be something wrong. Who can tell me why?
Because it is starting from 2 points.
Exactly. Me, I don't have water here, so let's ask the guys. Okay. Here. It is having what 2 points coming to the what? Coming to meet what D. Okay. So I think D is right here, right? If I'm right, D is what? Is right here. Then it says what? A and B. A and B should what? Should finish before what? They come to D. So yes. So assuming what? Let's assume maybe I put here. So assuming what? I put what? Let me say this is what? Activity. And probably then 6, right? If it says 6, then you're right. So, and I put D here. Okay. I put D here. Just imagine. Okay, we are having what? 2 arrows. Okay. So it is not possible. We violate the rule. So we can make what? We can make A. Okay. We can make A a dummy, or we can make what? As I think we should make what? A dummy activity. Okay. So let's go back and let's make what? A dummy activity. Yes. So let me draw this. Okay. So B and A, should come. Yes, I'm betting yaba. Right. Let me I'm in sure activity 6. So I'm going to make what? This A, okay, and dummy activity to this particular one. Okay, and then here becomes what? A D. Okay. And now we have what? C and D. Okay, that's a day. C and D. It was C, it was D. Okay. It was C and then what? It was D. They C and D should finish. Okay. For what? For ye to come. Okay. So something like this. Okay. Let me just take them like that. All right. Something like this. Should finish this way. Also acting something similar. Okay, something similar. The same thing. Yebenya dummy activity. Sansu. All right. C and D should finish before we get what we get. Let me just put it right here. Okay, roughly. Okay, something like this. And then it says what D D D should. Where is D? D is right here. Okay, D finished here. So D is going to move something like here. Okay, this particular point. And then we have what? F. F. We have F here. All right. F will be somewhere here. Okay. The next one says what? E and F. Okay. We are having what? E and F. So we have E here. Okay. We have E here. And then we have what? We have F here. Okay. Mind you that this is one of them is a dummy activity. This one can be. Okay. Or either this one too can be. Okay. So we have what? E and F. So this is E. This is E. This line is E. Okay. This one is what? This one is F. Okay. This one is E and F. So this is E and F. The end here. E ends here. F ends here. So it says after they are done, then we can have what? We can have a chain. Okay. We can have what? We can have a chain. A chain for what? For these particular guys. Okay. So let's see. From here, yes, the same thing. And that may be a chain from here or a chain from there. Okay. Like this. Then what? Let's assume what we end here because this is the last one activity. Okay, the last one activity. This is the last activity. All right. So this is how it is supposed to look like. So I think yes, what the guy did was what was correct. Was correct. Okay, what the guy did was correct. The guy who sent the image into the group. Okay, that was correct. What you did was what absolutely correct. But you just didn't illustrate the dummy activities and things. But to be frank, it's correct. It's correct. It's totally correct because that's the same thing we are having. Okay, so that is that. I hope we are together on the same page. Okay, together on the same page.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can go on. All right. Okay. So that was that for this particular assignment. Okay. So we've done activity diagram. Okay. So I would like us to end the session right, and then we'll go and come back again. Okay. So that I don't want to make the video too long. Okay. So I'll post this particular video and then we'll go and come back again. Okay. So maybe in the next maybe 5 minutes. I'll start a new session and then we'll take on the what? The
So
yes, the other one, the
you think
square
the
one. And
next 30 to 45 minutes?
no, the next 5 minutes. The next 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes. Only 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, I'll be back. I want to just get something done right now. Okay, I'm taking some network thing, but I'll be back 5 to 10 minutes, and then we take on the what? The the sequence diagram. Okay, it looks like the other one. All right, so we'll be back. We'll be back. Okay, be back. So stay tuned. I'll put the time and everything on it. Okay, so stay tuned. Um, hey.